Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Machine again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to Women's History Month in March of 2026, I shall be talking about the 6th episode of the first season of Carmen Sandiego. Now, before I actually talk about the name of the episode, before I say what it is, let me just say that I didn't plan for this. Okay, because today is World Theater Day. The 365 days I could have done this. I picked this day to do this. But yeah, I didn't do it on purpose. So, the name of the episode is The Opera in the Outback Keeper. So, I think I'm not very too sure on the subject, but I think that opera would count for a type of theater experience, I should say. So it counts. But again, I didn't do it on purpose. With purely coincidental type thing. So anyway, this episode discusses they visit a place that we all know and love, Australia, and Carmen wants to go to the Sydney Opera House to see Carmen being performed by an opera singer. Now we all know Carmen is one of the most famous operas out there. The one where you take da 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 da. Yeah, I can't really do that too well, but you get the idea. And the performer is actually dressed in red, and she looks like a very interesting older version of Carmen Sandiego. So she goes there and she wants to go discuss she wants to go view the opera. Unfortunately though, show from the epic duo and Viola also go there for other more nefarious purposes. Now, what's important to know is that in this show, they also talk about the important facts about Australia that we all know and love. That being the Outback, and that's like 80% of the continent country. In fact, memory serves, I think that's the only country that spans the entire continent. It's that big. And the Outback is about the size of the continent of the United States. Without Hawaii or Alaska. Or mainland communist China. Yeah. And, it's pretty big. And they also have the main central big rock, Ayers Rock, where the locals know it as Uluru. Yeah, as I looked it up. And they actually announced it in the cartoon too. So yeah, I wonder how this will play into the whole vital scheme with everything. But it just so happens that when Carmen is trying to listen to Carmen, the main guy, Gray, is talking to her about stuff. And Gray, if you remember from the last couple episodes, he was like brainwashed or memory wiped from Dr. Sarah Bell's experimentation in file after he was captured by Acme. So he appears in this episode, but he appears to be more of a common guy, regular guy, electrician or something, which is what he was before he was afflicted by Vile. Now, I like this idea about him just returning to everyday life, and that he's like a sleeper agent, where if you see like a coworker, you hear a medical phrase or something, then he goes right back to being evil and trying to attack Carmen and anybody else, any other do-gooders. So, we also learn that Mr. Graham is also a smooth operator, in that he tries to successfully convince Carmen into go on a date with him at a cafe, near the opera house, because that's where you used to hang out with him before he was a bottle operative. He used to go there to get the coffee or something. Anyway, that's quite nice. But she tried to get him back into the old groove of things. But in any case, we also see that the service over there trying to do like weird things with new toy, with new sonic weapon, and with that he tried to he does a fancy parkour against Carmen, which further shows that Carmen Sandiego isn't exactly she's good at a lot of things, but there's one thing she's not good at, and that'd be parkour. Because La Silva beats her up in that parkour match, by giving her a nice heavy kick to his face. And while she was hanging from the rafters, he actually uses the sonic weapon in her face point blank range. So it's kind of cheating, being that she has nowhere to escape to or nowhere to get away from the blast. But anyway, he shoots her in the face with it. Now, back with the great thing that I just remembered just now. It's like a bad guy in a TV show or an anime that when you first get introduced to a bad guy, it's better to have built up in your mind, in the back of your head, that this person's horrible, this character's an evil creature and all that stuff. What has he done or what has she done to earn such a bad reputation? How powerful is this character? That kind of thing. If you let it sit there for a couple episodes, like maybe 10 at least, you start to realize that this person is a whole beast. Letting their minions take care of everything for them because they're so evil and so powerful. They don't want to get their hands or their claws dirty. But if they say that, oh, this person's a bad hombre or something like that, and then in the next episode or in the same episode, people say like you're introduced to this character, it kind of ruins the whole build-up of them being a vile creature or a horrible monster or whatever. Same with Gray too, we really didn't get that much chance to actually miss him, or his memories to Carmen or anybody else for that matter. So it was like, you seen in the last episode, or the last one before that, that Dr. Bellum raised his memory and did a few other psychotic things to the poor guy. And then in the next episode, they show him they show him walking around doing various things and all the cool stuff and whatnot. He doesn't remember anything about Carmen, which I have a question about that too. It just seemed more or less like the headband that Bella put on him. It's like it's like the neuralizer from the Men in Black franchise that takes away memories at certain intervals of time, or does it automatically just flip everything out? Because I think that with Graham, he knew Carmen for a long time before the episodes that we've seen them together with, like years and years and years, to the point that she became more of a little sister to him. I think that there was like a romantic thing, romantic go on between the two of them. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, speaking of romance, they actually have a double with Lachova in this one, but they have less time than you think in this episode. In fact, Lachova only had like maybe 2 minutes of it altogether in this episode, like the 25 minute thing fair. And then you realize that Lachova may be stronger than Lachova, but he's more dim-witted too. And you know, it's funny, I always make the comment that they get with one another, and that they have a very nice relationship with each other. But the funny thing is that Miss Bellum actually refers to Otobo as a special boy. Now, she's referring to herself as the relationship she had with the Gray at first, but then she referred to them two as and this is kind of funny because whenever the teachers in the school, they happen to notice coupling, people being together faster than parents do. Because they alert more often than not to the social interaction between students and whatnot. So that's kind of thing that I picked up on. But anyway, we don't realize that Java's real purpose to go in there with a sonic weapon. We can only assume up until this point that the reason why he was going to bring the sonic weapon was because they wanted to disrupt something to do with the performer of Carmen, or to destroy the opera house with it, wherever. But also note is that one thing I didn't notice that the show has eyeliner on, fake eyelashes. So I don't know whether that stands for him being more feminine in the relationship with El Tobo, but it is what it is, right? Meeting the guy that's for 2 weeks. So, I don't know what that means either, but, yeah. I'm gonna go into that thing more. But anyway, the show that we show, that a rocket scientist working for the Australian government attended the opera that night. So she was the actual target of a Chauvin's little attack, if you call it that, by which the sonic weapon was meant to install like a subliminal message into her to launch the rocket ship. And this is actually where it gets kind of stupid, because we know that Violet is involved with this rocket, and we know that it's going to be, it's going to be crafty or something that Carmen's got to save the day and stuff, and prevent Violet from enacting evil plans and whatever. But the thing is, it's really kind of stupid and it's kind of contrived, because she figures out that Lulu, the big iron rocket in the middle of the Outback, is number one, it's a big tourist destination. Number two, it's a very, very sacred mountain to the Aborigines. And any type of damage or any type of problem that comes down from the sky that involves this giant mountain of rock will end up becoming a big public outcry. And according to them, if this rocket, which I'll give you 3 guesses as to what it is, it is with Australia, and the people that make it are Australian with full accent. I'll give you 3 guesses as to what it's called. Ding ding ding, we have a winner. It's Boomerang, which I used to have a boomerang before my house fire happened, and it was just for the fire, but I still couldn't talk with today. And you got better chance of Peter Griffin using his giant battering ship, whatever that was, aircraft. But anyway, if you that with the boomerang, Violet is gonna launch it using the little messaging put into the code of the opera, and it's gonna launch right into the iron rock, and from there the public outcry will be so bad that they're gonna cancel, that the Australian government will cancel all the orders for any type of science or military purposes from the company that developed the boomerang rocket to to switch over to Violet rocket systems. That's real kind of stupid and contrived, because there's gotta be 100 different rocket manufacturers and scientists teams that can make that other than the Violet. How they could do it with NASA or anything else for that matter, or SpaceX, if you want to go by that logic. Anyway, that's kind of stupid, but the Otobo ends up playing the Carmen opera on loudspeakers that were inside the workstation of the main worker there, and he plays it for her. And then at the right moment, she said that the office workspace or the laboratory workspace is no place for opera, and that she's a big fan. It's too distracting for her. Okay, that's fair enough. But then the opera plays off a lot because then she got a subliminal messaging to launch the boomerang rocket. So it's actually kind of funny that I actually prefer her saying the words launch the boomerang in a robotic fashion over Carmen. Because Carmen, I get the method to do that. It just so happens that she had to get the code to launch the boomerang right after Ivy and Zach subdue the scientist. So it's kind of like a very very contrived event. And you would think that if both women were able to hear the message and the code at the same time, that both of them would say at this time. And lucky, Carmen is right there, guarding the big red button that launches the rocket. Now, I would think that they would actually make like a double key system, like where both parties would have to turn the key manually at the same time, and then it would unlock the button, but not just one big button in the middle of the console. Much like you would expect from a comic book villain or something like that. Push the button to destroy the world. Or in real life, push the button to get a Diet Coke. So in any case, they do the scientist in a very weird way. He tie up a rope that would coil a rope. So that's actually pretty funny. Like walking around saying launch the boomerang. But then Carmen gets it too, and she pushes the button and launches it in 2 minutes. So then it's like a big rush to try to stop the rocket, and then Carmen snaps out of it because Zach goes to Turbo gets them to stop it because of a very dumb reasoning, because he said that there's like something with dingo lawns or something rather. And funny thing that I just remember about that when you were talking about the mammals of the Outback, like dingoes, crocodiles, kangaroos. Yeah, I mean it's just as right. What's the word for that? Joey, and that's also the name of baby kangaroo. So every time I look movie or cartoon would say Joey, I say what? Come at me, bro. What do you want? Quit calling my name. So anyway, that was kind of funny. Also, why is Zach not be able to get into the top secret military base? That wasn't even need. We have to look and act like we're locals, and you have to have your own social security key card and all that other fancy stuff. So, anyway. She sometimes had because Zach disabled Turbo's computer and machinery and musical stuff, and she ends up saying, "Oh my God, what have we done?" So meanwhile, Ivy had to take care of the chauffeur, even though she had no combat experience whatsoever. And gets best again by his ability to combat strength and agility. So they say that to disable this rocket, you have to do you have to climb up and you have to take out the guidance chip in like motherboard. Now, this rocket looks like something you would see from Metal Harbor in Sonic Adventure 2. And so it's kind of weird that they would have the motherboard be right underneath the surface of the rocket. Like right underneath the superficial shell of the rocket. I would think that'd be kind of like a dangerous spot to put a very sophisticated guiding system. You know, just one little damage to the outer shell and something that you could put, and it will go zooming every which way and blow up somewhere. So I would think that'd be kind of an issue. And rather than come up with a cockamamie plan of file one the other, using this rocket to publish something there to make the company look bad, why not just have the person just with the rocket and send the plans to file themselves instead of doing all this, blowing up over Ayers Rock or whatever. That doesn't make sense. But what does make sense is that they're having this whole episode take place in Australia, right? So have a didgeridoo music going on there. And if you don't know what didgeridoo music is, that's that we think they kind of sound like a cicada. That sound. I can't do that, but that's the best I got. Anyway, they have Ivy end up getting beaten by the show, and he goes away with his boy toy. He escaped. So it's okay funny because during the fight, Ivy ends up dodging his attack and goes further away from the rocket than where she is currently. So it's like he's between her and the rocket, the goal. So when dodging, she should have been on the other side, but whatever. My information issue. So then they have Carmen use her grappling hook like Batman and swoop in and pick up Ivy, and then when she dropped off with like 2 seconds left to spare, she ends up ripping out the guidance system chip out of the rocket, and then all is right in the world. Even Ivy says that. Number 2, I think I made one in my pants just now. That's kind of weird and kind of almost disgusting. But whatever. So everything is right. And then Carmen actually goes on this little date with Greg in a civilian form. And then they go to each wing at the cafe at like eat or something. And they noticed from a player. And she said to her that maybe it's something to get it, meet up with Gray after all, because he was under the spell of Dr. Bella because she liked to play mind tricks with people. So in theory, he could be waiting for them to get close to each other, and then he would try to attack her again after getting a code or something like that. Would you kindly do something like that? Would you kindly kill Carmen Sandiego with your little electrical rod there, whatever you call it? And that is a good point there. You know, I believe that in future episodes they do something like that. But she also does that thing where she's on the sidewalk, he sees her there, and then she's like a high grade, by grade, as bus passes in front of her. She's like, and then she disappears. I like to think that she got on the side of the bus and was riding the bus, and then they show her that we can't be seen together. Not for my safety, because I'm cool enough and badass enough that I wouldn't be affected by anybody, but for great safety, you know, we can be seen together, because if they are seen together, a final might do that. Would you kindly act? And then you have to beat them up. So, it's cool to know that great actors are, you know, going to talk to him and stuff, and that he knows that he's okay by her book. So anyway, we also have very interesting cameo for the next episode with Dr. Maelstrom. He's talking to his best pupil, the Japanese-inspired character of a paper star, in which she uses the origami to make throwing knives and shurikens. And I forgot what punk subculture she's really designed off of, but it's really cool because it's got like a very Powerpuff Girl as designed, and she's voiced by one of my favorite characters from the show Orange is the New Black, Miss Kiki Glenn, which unfortunately I did not see at the Comic-Con at New York City. Invitation I'll see her there. But yeah, I would definitely want to autograph my face there. That was the case, because she's a cute as a little button. And I'm glad that she was able to get other work besides that show. Here, and with the tour as the ultimate badass warrior that wants to take the head of Carmen Sandiego. So it shows that the close of, you know, the title of Carmen always meddling in the affairs, and they want her dead. Not partially dead, all dead. And Miss Bizarre actually lost her skills by making a surgeon a paper and throwing it at skeletons, and it decapitating the skeleton. So that was actually pretty cool. And he took that for an answer of yes, I will work for you. So yeah, I enjoyed this character quite a bit. I enjoyed this episode. It was great. We see what happened with Gray, or I should say Graham. We find out that he was an electrician before he became a file operative, which is cool in my book. And everything is fine. I like the calm music. I like the sing of Australia. Let's go. Covered. They covered the landmarks of the area. They covered some of the culture, some of the animals of Australia. But what they didn't cover is that all the animals won't chew you. And yes, they become facts about kangaroos in box. No, they'll take your block off too. That's really fun. I would like to see what would happen if my father ever tried to challenge a kangaroo. But yeah, besides that, this is a good episode. So I thank you for watching my my little review of the 6th episode of the first season of Carmen Sandiego. The upper and the Outback keeper. And we like that because it implies that somebody stole something in the Outback, or the opera would come into play more, but it was just the same for the first part of the episode, which Carmen got beaten up by a silver. And very epic thing with the parkour in the lighting fixtures of the opera. And it showed that he's the smallest of the two guys. And let's see here now. There was also a part where and this is for Women's History Month in the year in March of the year 2026. So, and I give the happy face to Paul because it was awesome. See Australia, country where I love. The music of Did You Do It Fun? Learned about koalas, dingoes, some of the things with the rocket ships. The rockets were good too. We can come up with something a little more original. We call it Australian-made rocket, a boomerang. But even that was borrowed from the Aborigine named Boomerang too. So yeah. If you like what you hear and you want to see more on my channel, you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on my future videos and such by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And then you'll follow me on Twitter or X, prefer, at PNelsonPro. Also, you can email me at jkidsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I assume anyone like educational TV shows, spy dramas, or any type of animation. And let's see here, what else is there? Yeah, please help my brothers and sisters. Arrivederci. I'll see you in the next video, guys, in Interland. Arrivederci, ciao ciao, and farewell.